Alright, now it's time to turn up the heat on Heatman. Now, as you can imagine, his stage involves fire and lava, and don't jump in there, Mega Man. Here's these propeller helicopter guys again. We'll just establish some air dominance on them, and there's more enemies in the air. So the air shooter continues to be useful through here, and it isn't Heatman's weakness, or at least not his primary weakness. So we can continue. Now these guys here, kind of like the ground crawlers from Mega Man 1, but you can kind of let them scroll themselves off of the screen, like that. And then you just go right by. And the disappearing and reappearing bricks return once again. They'll appear in basically every Mega Man game. That wasn't as effective as I would have liked it to be. I want that. Let's use item 3. I'll pretend like I planned that. Just so I could show off that item 3. What it does is it will bounce around, and it will be a... it'll cling to a wall, and then it'll go up the wall, and then go back down. How do I get myself out of this? I'll just wait till they come to me. And there goes a one-up that we can't really get. But we'll try to get it anyways. Alright, let's do this again, but differently. I just wanted to show you that there are still midpoints in this game. Yep, that's what I was doing. Oh, of course. Bubble doesn't work on you. I wonder if I can freeze you guys. Or maybe just a lengthy jump taking damage only part of the way down. There's those spots where we can use the Crash Bomber on. Here, I'll demonstrate that. You just have to wait for it to explode. And that can save you at least a little bit of hassle there. Oh, after all that time I spent back there, nobody's got time for this. So, we'll just use our item number 2, the jet sled, and slide on past. I love listening to those blocks as they try to chase after you with their appearing noises. Let's try out the bubble lead. We didn't get to demonstrate that too much. It travels along the ground. Yep, that's what it does. And it's also Heatman's weakness. Now, Heatman will start this battle, and he'll throw these 3 little pieces of fire that will shoot into pillars. Kind of difficult to dodge. It can be done. I just didn't do it there. Once you hit him, he'll engulf himself in heat, and you can't damage him at that point, and then he'll do a short sprint at you. Just hop over him, keep your distance from him, and then just turn around and shoot him with whatever weapon you choose. Air is fairly effective against him, and even the Mega Buster does decent damage. Once you get past the first shot, he's not too difficult to dodge. And we get our final utility weapon, item 1. This will create a little levitating platform right next to you that you can use to climb upwards. in areas that don't have walls. This will be important in a little bit. Now we'll go to our final robot master, Metal Man, whose weapon we won't be using. Which makes sense for why I saved him for last. Alright, so Metal Man, he has these conveyor belts. These will pop up again in a variety of Mega Man games. There's a really easy to get energy tank. And we have these, I don't know what they're called, big metal stompy things. Do try your best to avoid them. They do a ton of damage. So always wait for them to head back up. Make sure you're in the clear. As you can see, we've got some sprite flicker going on here. And here's another use for Flashman's weapon. We have these mole enemies that'll come out of the ground. They're fairly annoying to deal with. So we'll just put on the time stopper and charge ahead. But that is also a great place to grind for different power-ups should you need any health refills at that point. And there's a 1-up that you can get up there. And down here, this would be our checkpoint. And now we have these guys coming in from the ceiling. The Crash Bomber does a pretty good job of taking out their wheel. If you take out the guy riding it, you'll still have the wheel coming after you. Oh, there's a nice 2-for-1 there with the Crash Bomber. Notice when we do use Crash Bomber, and a couple other weapons might do this too, but it stops you from taking damage when they throw their tin cans at you, because you just destroy them in one hit. Once again, the item 2, or the Jet Sled, is very useful here. And we'll let that guy go away. He'll return and just hop over him if he does. And next up, we'll use Quick Man to beat Metal Man. The weapon that we started with will be used to obtain the weapon that we're not using at all. Now Metal Man, using the Quick Boomerang, you'll have to get pretty close to him. Try and dodge him the best you can, but as you can see, Quick Boomerang does a decent amount of damage, does a very good amount of damage actually. So you can afford to do a bit of a damage race with him. Otherwise, just keep your distance on the far side and just dodge his shots while spamming the Mega Buster, and at some point you'll hit him, and then you just keep hitting him and repeating until you defeat him. Alright, and here is the final password before we get into the Wily stages. That's a neat little pattern there. And so next time we'll see the great lengths that Wily goes to hold a grudge against me for not being able to cut his grass.